So you've got your puzzle pieces created. You can see that I've got my pieces down here. One thing I haven't mentioned is that I have changed mine. Instead of saying Part Studio, you can actually right click on these and rename them to the color that it actually is. Makes things a little easier to organize. And then you've got this file over here that says assembly1, right? That file was pre-created by OnShape, which is great. We're going to bring all of our parts into that file. On the left-hand side here, it says Insert. You're going to see your 5 pieces. If I click on it, I can click anywhere out on the screen to add that part file. Right, so I need one of each. Alright, so I've got my 5 pieces out there. The first thing we need to do when we go to assemble is lock one of our pieces in place. Right, so in this case, I'm going to lock my blue piece. To do that, I can locate it over here. Or you can actually go to the piece and right click, and one of the options will say Fix. You'll notice on my left hand side, these are my pieces here. This piece cannot move. Right, this piece is locked in. It gives me that error. It cannot move. Right. Now these other pieces, if I click and drag on them, are free to move, but not this one. To do the assembly, on the left hand side, we're going to use Planar Mate. This is going to lock. I'm going to click on one surface. I'll click on another. It'll lock those surfaces together. Right. In terms of rotating a part, we have a couple options. Right, I can click on this view box and drag and rotate my parts around as I'm doing my constraints or my mates, right? Or if I click on a piece, you can see these 3 little icons. That'll allow me to individually rotate parts around. Right, so for my first constraint, I'm going to lock this surface in with the underside of this surface. Right? To do that, I've clicked on my Planar Mate. Ideally, when you do your constraining here, you want to choose the center of the part. See how the icon is selecting that center? That'll just give you a more accurate constraint. So I click on that. I'm going to go to the underside of this piece. I'd have to zoom in a little bit and click on that. One thing that's nice about OnShape is it gives you this little icon here that'll switch my directions, but it'll also allow me to rotate that part. Hit my green check. I can exit out of this. And now this piece, with that one constraint, if I look at it from a different view, you can see it's only moving along that constraint. My next constraint then, I'm going to lock these 2 surfaces in, right? Those 2 inside surfaces. So I click on my Planar Mate. Click on that inside surface. Again, ideally we want to select the center of that part. And this plane right there. Hit my green check, and you'll notice my part has now moved. Right? So now it will only move forward and backward, but not left, right, or up and down. So as you might assume, my last constraint for this part is going to be the front of my part and the front of this part. Hit my green check, and there my piece is now locked in. This will not move. Alright, my next constraint, or my next part, I'm going to work on moving this purple piece right into this corner. To do that, again, there's my planar mate. I want this surface to touch this surface. Hit my green check. Planar mate, I want the top of this to line up with the top of my blue square here. Hit my green check. And I need my back sides. Right now this piece, go back to my isometric view here, this piece will only move my forward and backward direction. Doesn't move up and down, doesn't move left to right. Right, so I'm going to line up, offset a little bit there, these two surfaces. Click that planar mate, center of that, with the center of that. Hit my green check, and there it is locked in place. This piece will no longer move. Right, I've got two more to work on. Before I moved this piece into place, right, this is going to go right in here. I'm going to go ahead and rotate it 90 degrees. Again, this is going to go right in there. So I'm going to do that planar mate. I'll take the front of this. Doesn't matter which front you choose here. With this. Hit that green check. You should see what happened there. When I go to try to free move it, it only moves along that edge. I'll use my planar mate again. Again, it doesn't matter which, the center of any of these pieces here. Right, I'll grab the center of this piece. I just need it to line up with the center of my green piece. Hit my green check. The last one then, I need to bring this, right, if I try to move it, it only moves up and down, doesn't move left to right. So I'll do a planar mate, I'll grab the top of this, and I'll grab the top of this. It looks like it's making a mistake, but once I hit that green check, it locks into place, right? Now none of these pieces can move. All right, my last piece here, you can see this is kind of my shorter end. Again, I'm going to start by rotating this piece around to fit what I need it to do. Right, this piece is going to go right into this available space. I'll do my planar mate. I'll do my top of the object and the top of any one of these objects. It doesn't matter as long as it lines up. I'm going to try to grab this blue piece here. My green check. Right. Again, it looks like it's wrong. This should allow me to still drag. If I look at it from my side here, I'm not sure it took. I'm going to go ahead and delete that one and try it again. Right, to delete it, I'm on the left hand side here. I'm just going to delete that last constraint. Let's try it again. Mate. We'll grab the top of this one with the top of this one. My green check. While it is inside my part, I can still move it. Now I'll do my planar mate. With the front of this. Should move into place, hit my green check. Alright, that should leave me with one constraint remaining. I'm going to drag this orange piece out of here. Right, it will now only move in one direction. So I'm going to go to my side view here and lock in this side. Grab that. Actually, I'm not sure I grabbed the right one. Check it. Again, Planar Mate. I want the front of this with the side of this. My green check. And now, for my isometric view, if I click and drag, none of this will move. It does take some practice. If you make a mistake, there is an undo error over here. And then keep in mind that all of these options here are the planes that I just did. If I hover over it, you can see where the actual clicks were made. And so you can simply right click on and delete those errors. Alright? Thank you.